In 2023, 3 Subaru ambassadors from the East Coast, Robert, Will, and Nick, met 2 more Subaru enthusiasts from the West Coast, Josh and Cody, and went on an epic adventure supporting the National Park Foundation. So we are at a little over 7,000 feet at the Capital Reef National Park permanent campground. Beautiful night last night to sleep and set up and relax. Pancakes, cleaning, coffee, important stuff. Josh is on dish duty today. He's doing really well, which is because we're not on dish duty, so that's really well. These are our mornings. Nick is still asleep. Morning, Nick. Wake up, Nick. The food's almost finished, like being eaten. After a wonderful breakfast and cleaning up camp so that we left no trace, we headed back out onto Cathedral Valley Loop to tackle the second half and go down into Cathedral Valley. Just like earlier on the Cathedral Valley Loop, we suddenly rounded a turn and the world started to change. After a few more miles down the mountain switchbacks, we finally made our way down into Cathedral Valley, and the fun began. I might back up a bit, though. You want me to back up? No, you're fine. Okay. No, I meant him physically. Oh, okay. Keep a rock in his face.
Get out the shot. That'd be funny.
I'm moving so I'm not in your shot.
Alright, cool.
Nice.
You want your wheel on that, right? Okay, so go passenger a little bit. Keep kind of going that direction. You're almost going to hit it with your tire. You can probably straighten it out. Your wheel's on it now.
And pre-collision braking's not letting you do anything.
What was that?
Pre-collision braking's not letting you do anything.
You did pop out your front bumper. And you're really close to plowing too. There you go, your front wheel's over. Oh, you're gonna
Yeah,
plow.
it's gonna take it. There it goes.
Plowing.
Yeah, girl. Yeah. That's gnarly sound.
Straight. You got it. You got a lot of room. Plenty of room. Which I shouldn't. found a really cool place to stop that'll give you an idea of the sheer size of these structures in Cathedral Valley.
We're down here in Cathedral Valley, and sometimes in the pictures you can't tell exactly how tall and how massive some of the stuff are. But if you look behind me here, you can see that it just goes on and on and on. And we're still 50 feet away from the base of this wall. It's pretty neat. Some beautiful stuff out here, and I'm seeing it all.
A few more miles down the road and some more changing landscapes, and things started to get green again, and we once again started hitting some washes. Finally, we arrived at the Gypsum sinkhole and took some photos. After that, the ruts just started getting worse. Sometimes you run into some stuff that requires some very careful angles, maybe a little bit of scraping, and making really good use of my primitive racing skid plates. This is one of those times, sadly, because this is actually pretty tall. Climbing down into it right now. This rut that we're climbing down into is actually up to my kneecaps. So, as you can tell, that's this is going to be a pretty steep transition here.
Definitely going to be some crunching going on. I'm going to write primitive racing a thank you letter.
Which one? This one? I sure can.
Yeah.
Sadly, flat-out's first set of coilovers for the Ascent were not quite up to the task, and my car was pretty low in the front, so I had to take angles very carefully at this point in the adventure.
Right?
Holy crap.
Really, boys.
Still good.
Wheels on the bottom.
Still plowing. Right? Oh, I don't know, man. You still have a little bit to drop and your nose is already hitting. And that one that your heel was just on. Yeah, that guy. That rut that Josh threw, is that worth putting the back in front of the right tire?
I would say right.
Oh my gosh, you still have more to go down though, and you're already hitting the bumper again.
Gosh.
Like, he's low in that front end.
What the drop off?
Left of the hole. You watch?
Coming this way.
You watching him?
Yeah. Yeah, that was looking good. Right side is almost there. Right there.
Oh, you're plowing again though.
Yeah, you're missing it. Right, on that. Lower to your other side. I'm straight now. Straight now. Watch, okay. Yeah, you're gonna come up on the rock. Nice. Crunch. Plowing. More of an angle. There it is. Freewheeling, come on, get it, girl. There it is.
You guys don't have a front
Ooh, he's two-wheeling.
Yeah, this is where the 218s don't matter.
Momentum. Momentum. There it is. There it is.
Well done, dude. Forward. Forward. There you go. Back up. Start more that way. There you go. Now cut in towards me. Too much. Aim at me. Straight. Still not angling like over. Slow. Turn. Cut hard. Back up. Start backing up a little. Cut the wheel to the left as you back up.
All the way?
Yeah, now back up. go. Back. Close. Keep going. Keep going.
He has just as many rocks in his as I do mine now.
Keep going. You want to be starting here. Put your car here. Back all the way up and then swing out. This is your angle, not this. Back up. Alright, swing. You gotta swing this way. This is your angle. Now cut hard. Now come it. This is your line. That's better. Keep going. Now cut hard. There we go. That one's the thing. So it's done.
Little trail maintenance. Is that movable? Passenger a little bit. Keep kind of going that direction. You're almost going to hit it with your tire. Probably straighten it out. The wheel is on it now. What was that? You did pop out your front bumper. And you're really close to plowing too. There you go, your front wheel's over. Oh, you're gonna plow.
Yeah, gonna dig in. There it goes.
You're plowing.
Get it, girl. Yeah. That's a gnarly sound.
Eventually we reached Glass Mountain, which is neither glass nor a mountain. It's actually a selenite gypsum rock formation sitting out in the middle of the desert. It looks a lot larger when you get up to it, as you can see from the photo of us on top.
It's illegal to take any naturally occurring thing like a rock or plant from a national park. When you take something and the next one comes through, they don't get to see that thing that you took. And then also, it's like you take something, and then the next person takes something, and then the next person takes something. There's not going to be a lot of park left for everyone to enjoy. Come on, you know.
We right now are at Glass Mountain, which is this stunning thing here. It's really hard to see just how stunning it is without being here, but it is shiny. It looks kind of like quartz. It's not though, and it shines in the sun. Really impressively as the sun hits it. You can see that piece right there. And that's what it looks like from each of the different angles. In the distance, you will see Temple of the Sun and Temple of the Moon. We have made it this far into Capitol Reef National Park and Cathedral Valley with our Subis. It's time to move on for another adventure. We're also trying to race thunderstorms at the moment, so here you go. Here's your walk-arounds of Glass Mountain. So remember, Leave No Trace goes beyond just packing in and packing out your own stuff. It also includes not taking out any of the natural vegetation, rocks, or anything else that is a part of nature. That way other people can enjoy it as well. Besides being a really horrible thing to do for everyone else that comes after you, it is actually illegal and covered by multiple laws that make it so.
Oh, you didn't photo. The thunder sounds mean.
Right?
Once again, the landscape changed drastically. Suddenly, we rounded another turn and we are on the backside of the Bentonite Hills yet again. So over here are some of the smaller of the Bentonite Hills. And this is all bentonite clay. One of the really kind of neat things and kind of bad things about them is that the rain makes this all kind of flow down into a clay-like mud. And that solidifies once it dries out. So this right here is actually going to crumble in my hands. You can see it crumbling to pieces. But the problem is when it's wet, your cars will sink into it and get stuck. And that's what all of this is made of. And you can see the water channels running down it. And as the water eats into each layer of this used to be mountain and the sediment of it, but it's all of that same type of consistency. It's all bentonite clay, and it forms into big chunks of clay rock when it dries, and that's what makes it really dangerous to drive on when it's wet. We drove through it last night and it was pretty dangerous, so it's really gorgeous. And they're all over this area, but really dangerous to drive it. So we are in the last little valley section of backside of the Bentonite Hills, and this is what this stunning landscape looks like. We're going to come out right down this road here on Route 24. It's a little bit bumpy road, a lot of fun though. And we got our Subies making our way through it all. Now you're not supposed to take anything out of the public use lands or the national parks. I'm gonna take a little bit of mud on my front bumper though. Other than that though, everything that we found, we're leaving. With the rain getting closer and us once again driving through clay, it was time to pick up the pace and get out of Cathedral Valley. Do a video interview.
On what? How to air up your tires?
How to air up your tires. But how about, what would you rate Capital Reef Cathedral Valley?
I would rate the whole drive that we did. I'd say it's probably an 8 or 9 out of 10. Yeah.
So definitely a must do.
Definitely must do. If you're in the area, you must do it. And the camping spot, spot on.
That's the top of Cathedral Valley. Is
Simply amazing.
Simply amazing campground. What do you think, Will? How would you rate this trail?
11.
How would you rate
11?
the trail?
Awesome.
I mean, well, 9. There was a lot of washboards.
Yeah, the washboards are horrible. What was your favorite part?
I think, actually, right after the glass mountain, there were all those white rocks. That was awesome.
Nice.
With all the white sand in there.
Perfect. Nice. Nick, how would you rate this trail?
Views 10 out of 10. Washboard, a different story. But no, that was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So must do.
Oh, definitely.
And over here we have Josh with his yellow flashy lights on. How would you rate this trail?
What's that?
How would you rate this trail?
Horrible.
Horrible?
Yeah,
Totally terrible. Yeah, me too. I
See much.
never do it. There's nothing up there to see. 70 miles of nothing.
Don't even bother.
It's horrible. So a 9, 10 out of 10?
Yeah, it was great. Pretty awesome.
It was truly amazing. We all had fun. And now we're airing up and heading off to Grand Staircase National Monument, Escalante first. And we are about to drive through a crazy thunderstorm. We've seen a lot of lightning, so we made it out of here safely before all of that. And the stuff, the Bentonite Hills, all the clay turns to mush and traps us. So we're out and on our way to the next thing, and the raindrops are just beginning to start. Time to air up. And for those of you who know, like we had to cross the Vermont River. These roads are really kind of dangerous. We came up from this way, up on the right here. Well, it kind of circles back to it anyway. It's about 70 miles all the way through. So the roads are impassable for most vehicles. 15 miles ahead. It used to be 45. That's 15 because the road has gotten a considerably worse. On top of that, it is a flood area. On a very, very serious note, if some thunderstorms are coming in, like the ones behind me, you do not want to be trying this road in the storm, or even after a storm that's further up, because what ends up happening is once the storm passes through, you think everything's good and all the washes are dry. An hour or two later, the washes are flooded. So even going right after a storm can be very dangerous. So be very careful when you do that, that you're not driving into a wash that's going to be filled. One of the bad things about this when it comes to driving in there after storms is that these trails here not just cross the washes, but sometimes divert into them for a while. So you have to literally drive in the wash to get someplace. You don't want to do that if that wash is about to be flooded. So be careful out there, but this is definitely a 9 or a 10 out of 10 trail. We highly recommend it. And the camping spot, there is a primitive campsite at the very top, very end of this trail, 7,000 feet high. It's a beautiful place to stay. There's like 6 or 7 dispersed spots there. And that'll hold, we took one and held all 5 of our cars, so all 5 of us. And 2 little doggies. So finally, after 2 days and 100 miles with detours, we left Cathedral Valley and hit the pavement. So we just got out before the pouring rain, or just a storm that's in the video. That was off in the distance. We literally pulled onto the road and it started pouring. So we just made it out. But up ahead you can see it's sunny and beautiful. So some nice fluffier clouds. So hopefully we'll be hitting that for the next part of our trip, which is Escalante and then Grand Staircase.
Looks like a mud pit.
Grand Staircase National Monument. As you might have just heard Cody say, it looks like a mud pit. Everything is already getting all mushy and muddy, so it would have been a little bit more difficult getting out. This is about at the stage where our Subies would still make it, but things get kind of crazy after that, and then not much of anything makes it through, so this is why it's always good to be careful and keep an eye on the weather, especially because it can change so quickly. We went from nice sunny hot days to thunderstorms, and now we're traveling into sunny. So if you look all the way over that way, you'll see that there are thunderclouds. Stay tuned for part 4. After a wonderful night of camping in Escalante, we headed out into Grand Staircase. Teriyaki chicken. So
You don't want any more rum?
no, I had a bunch. There's almost nothing left. So the Hot Logic Minis are a great way of cooking bag rice.
Bag rice. Slow cooked all day.
Or bag anything else.
So we let it cook for about 2 hours. We cooked 2 whole bags of it and are eating our teriyaki chicken now. After a wonderful night, it was time to pack up and head out for our next adventures, which would be some of our last adventures with our new friends before we parted ways for now. There's still a lot more to come, so stay tuned for part 4. A very special thank you to Mark Miller Subaru in Salt Lake, Utah, and to Subaru Wyoming Valley in Plains, Pennsylvania. A very big thank you to Torque Masters for the torque locker that helps make my car move, and to Primitive Racing for making the skid plates we used and abused on all of the cars on this adventure. Personal thanks from me to AZP Installs in Kenilworth, New Jersey, and Discount Tire. And as always, heartfelt thanks to Subaru of America.